Thank you so much, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Jill Scarson. I am the Partner Success Leader for the Palace Project. I'm joined by my colleague, Tara Carpenter, who is our Implementation Manager. You've likely heard quite a bit from both of us over the last few weeks. But we're here today to talk about promoting the Palace Project at your library and how you can engage with your patrons surrounding this transition to a new app. So today, just a brief presentation. We'll go over some tips and tricks as well as some key talking points. We'll talk about some examples from other states and what they're doing to engage with patrons surrounding Palace and their statewide shared collections. We'll talk about the ongoing support and resources that are available to you. And as always, we'll have plenty of time for Q&A. We're pretty informal here, so if you have questions, you can feel free to drop them in the chat. We'll definitely have a lot of time at the end. And I apologize a little bit today because I am getting over a cold. So if my voice is breaking up a little bit, I'll take a minute, take a sip of a drink, and then proceed. And with that said, let's get started. Promoting the Palace Project talking points. So I'm sure you've seen this graphic in our previous presentations, but there really are these four kind of key facets of Palace and what makes this a little bit different. The first is that we are an aggregator app, which means that we work with multiple different vendors to support content in addition to providing hosting and sale of content. So multiple content sources, one simple app. This is our way of explaining that we can work with different vendors ranging from Overdrive, should you choose to enable your Overdrive account, to that Baker and Taylor Boundless content that's transitioning over, as well as content purchased from our marketplace. Beyond that, the Palace app is really designed for discovery. The default setting in the app is to highlight available and relevant titles to increase discovery. This means on the catalog page in the app, patrons will see titles that are available to them now to borrow. So they're not necessarily getting pointed to the bestsellers that have a 6 month hold queue right in the catalog page. It's really built to browse so that they can see what's available to them today. That said, if they're looking for a specific title or they do want to see everything, they're able to adjust those settings in their search parameters as well as in the lanes. There's some search facets. So they'll still see everything, but I think the idea here really is to kind of show patrons the whole idea of your collection as opposed to that kind of ever changing long hold queue. Beyond that, we offer unique content and innovative partnerships. In addition to being an aggregator app, we also have a marketplace, as well as a sister program, BiblioBoard and the Indie Author Project, where we have some kind of unique partnerships with different publishers, as well as operating as a publisher of that Indie Author Select collection. Lastly, the app is built for accessibility and ease of use. So it is a simple, streamlined, user-centered designed with a focus on accessibility. We like to say it's a great app for people of all ages. So if you have patrons that are new to apps or kind of want to dip their toes into ebooks, Palace is a great place for them to start. And kind of distilling this further, just a few things about Palace, taking those four major points to kind of think about how it applies to you. Palace brings more of your library's ebooks and audiobooks together in a single easy-to-use app. We offer exclusive content from Amazon and Audible, not available anywhere else. I know that the Rails team has already started purchasing content, including some Amazon and Audible titles, so those will be in the e-read collection. Beyond that, your collection will include copies of high demand titles. So if there are long hold lists in your local collection, so if you have local Overdrive collection with a 6 month hold queue, have patrons check out the Palace app just to look at the e-read collection because chances are there are high demand titles that might be available to them to borrow today. Palace is focused on discovery, as I said. We're looking to promote available content. Essentially, there's always something to read in Palace. It might not be what a patron thinks that they're looking for when they're looking to put a hold on the women or the wedding people, but they will find great titles that your team and the Rails team have curated over time. So there's always going to be something for them to find in Palace. And lastly, as I said, it is a streamlined app. You can easily adjust your reading experience using accessibility features to meet your needs. One of the things that we get asked most about from our new prospective partners, as well as our newly onboarded partners, is what are all the other libraries doing? So we thought it would be a great opportunity to kind of talk about some of our partner libraries and how they've utilized the Palace Project to increase discovery, manage collections, and highlight their community initiatives. Beyond that, I think one of the key points here is a lot of promotion and engagement and usage is driven by custom curation. So, as we talked about in our previous training on the Palace Collection Manager, we do have a custom lane feature. So the lists and lanes, these allow you to create title lists and curate uh, areas of interest based on topics and themes, and you are enabled to enable those for your patrons via the lane feature. Right now, we're in the process of implementing some custom lanes that we've worked with the Rails team on. So I'm in the process of manually enabling these for you. If you're interested, on the next slide, you're able to enable those today. I can show you how to do that, but these are the things that we're working on. So you'll have a custom lane in the app about newly added titles. So this would be your opening day collection that the Rails team has curated for you. Beyond that, we're working on some seasonal reads. We do have some sublanes in there for kids and for adults. So if you have parents that are concerned about content, they're able to look specifically at that sublane. We also have always available ebooks that'll be enabled in there for you. And this is a lot of the simultaneous use content that was available via BiblioBoard. The Palace team is going to continue to work with Rails to support curation requests. If you ever need some assistance for your library, we do have some librarians on our staff that are actively working on this project. So don't hesitate to reach out. As I said, there's an opportunity. We are curating these custom lists and sharing them with everybody that's in the Palace Collection Manager. So anyone in Illinois that has access to the e-read collection should be able to see and view and enable these lists into lanes. I'm not going to go through all of these steps because we will send you a copy of the slides, but it is a really quick and easy 5-step process. We do have some instructional documentation that's written out, as well as YouTube videos that were professionally made to show you how to create lists and lanes. And now to talk about our Let Palace partners. One of our probably most recent and most active statewide partnerships is with the Georgia Public Library Service. We launched GPLS last fall as a statewide adoption and implementation of Palace. So every public library system, all 60 of them are active currently in the Palace app. We worked with GPLS to help them as they awarded participating libraries with some funds to help contribute to a statewide shared collection. So this was something that GPLS awarded based on population served. And the idea here was really to allow for libraries to feel like they have kind of a shared ownership of the statewide shared collection, which we're calling eRead Georgia. So similar to eRead Illinois, there is an eRead Georgia. And this is content that they've purchased from the Palace Marketplace, and we've continued to support. Beyond that, we've recently helped them transition their Baker and Taylor content over. So we will also be supporting another 60 standalone libraries that are specific to their eRead Kids collection. So this is focused, I think, primarily on K-5. And overall, we are currently supporting those statewide shared collections and resources, including a ProQuest collection of over 150 titles, 150,000 ebook titles, children's content from the Palace Marketplace, SimUse content from MD Author Project, as well as BiblioBoard. And at this point, it is probably close to 200,000 ebook titles that Georgia residents can access in Palace. We similarly to what we'll be doing for Illinois. We do some custom curation. I go in monthly to create some themed lists for them. We share them out, and libraries can opt in to make them viewable to their patrons. So, as I said, lists and lanes are a really great way to engage with patrons on trending topics. Our partners in Georgia have really embraced this process. So beyond what we have curated for them, libraries have gone in and created their own custom lists and lanes, from topics ranging from back to school and popular right now, to those always available comics, which are some use available via the Biblioboard features. They're focusing on local interests in genealogy, authors, Harry Potter, everything from high demand bestsellers, to kind of leverage the fact that there are some high demand titles available in Palace, that may or may not be available today as part of another collection from another distributor. And even more, no wait audios. So we do partner with Blackstone Audio. So libraries that are participating in that subscription service are able to enable it in Palace, to really kind of highlight that always available, easy to access content. There have been some additional grant opportunities that libraries have taken advantage of to build out their ebook collections. So they've chosen to highlight those in app. And I can go on and on and on. There really is an endless opportunity here to kind of highlight content that might be of interest to your patrons, your community, to highlight the events that you're doing, as well as regional initiatives. And unfortunately, videos never seem to load in these presentations, but when we send out the links, you should be able to watch this. How Georgia libraries have chosen to kind of promote us. Two of our good friends and systems, Hull County Public Library and Middle Georgia Regional, decided to kind of leverage some usage statistics that had been shared with them by GPLS, and create this kind of friendly feud between the two branches on social media. This was an opportunity for them to engage with library patrons, to increase access and usage of the eRead Georgia collection and Palace. This was a series of like 4 or 5 feisty videos encouraging patrons to help one system out borrow the other in an effort to kind of become the king or the queen of the palace. There were even talks of having a crowning ceremony with our partner at GPLS. Overall, it was a really funny kind of initiative that was completely driven by the library systems and not by the state at all, that resulted in increased usage for both systems and ended with a joint video with both systems shaking hands and proposing to work together to expand access. So it was a great way to introduce a new service. I think there was a level of competition to it. Patrons got really excited about this, and staff really had a lot of fun with it too. Oop, oop. Palace in Action in California. California is another one of our statewide partnerships. We've been partnered with them since 2022, but earlier this year they launched California's Bookshelf, which is all of these statewide shared materials in a virtual library card instance. So one of the things that we can offer for libraries that are unautomated or we don't partner or integrate with their ILS system is an opportunity to host the collection and for patrons to create their cards and app. A lot of our state library partners have chosen to highlight their shared collections in this way, in addition to supporting individual library implementations. So California is a very big state, and we currently have well over 130 different libraries configured, but that isn't every library in the state. So it was really important for California State Library to be able to provide these resources to everyone. So they launched California's Bookshelf in March of this year. The usage of the collection quadrupled overnight due to a viral press release, and this has stabilized since then, but the collection drives the most of the usage for the state. So our individual library partners are still promoting and utilizing Palace, but due to this viral social media moment and due to the excitement from California residents, this collection, which is again shared with every library that has chosen to adopt Pallas. Um, this particular instance still drives most of the usage in the state. The state is leveraging collection development grants beyond this to kind of, again, create this idea and instill this idea of shared ownership of the overall collection. So there were three different cycles of this. And again, individual libraries could apply. I want to say there's been at least 24 different libraries that have contributed to the statewide shared collection as part of the eBooks for All grants. And as I said, individual California libraries have had the ability to access and share the shared collection as well as configure their local Overdrive materials or cloud library materials and choose to highlight collections that they'd like. So similar to eRead, they've had the opportunity to kind of build and grow this statewide shared collection. Individual libraries have opted in and they have chosen to do some really interesting things involving leveraging grants to individual libraries to support projects. One of those grant recipients is Huntington Beach Public Library. It's a very small library in an aging community, but they've been a three-time grant recipient of the eBooks for All grants. They have done several different themed projects. Their first focused on maritime themes. In 2024, they did a project on more nice, not a lot of spice, and this was really in a way of continuing to engage with that population who might not necessarily be looking for, erotica. They're looking for clean romance. They're looking for cozy mysteries as opposed to thrillers. And they really tailored that collection to their community. This year, they did have a small grant project which focused on cultural heritage ebooks and genealogy for their specific community. And again, this really was a great opportunity for them to bring e-reading and ebooks to this community. The collections have seen significant circulation and they continue to see interest from the community in their ebooks. Pallas in Action in Canada, one of our Canadian partners is Vancouver Public Library, and they've chosen to focus on Pallas as an audiobook platform. So in addition to purchasing content from our Audible exclusives, they also have a Blackstone Unlimited subscription. So they're promoting those always available content from Blackstone, as well as curating custom lanes with fiction and nonfiction staff picks. But again, really highlighting the access to Audible content as well as the audiobook content that they've made available exclusively through this platform. Connecticut is yet again another statewide partner of ours. They have a large statewide collection called EGO-CT, which I believe somewhere around 60,000 different titles at this point. And they've chosen to utilize this system as a way of leveraging everything from reading initiatives, including their statewide reads program, All CT Reads, which supports children's and middle grade, young adult, and adult readers. Usually there's at least one pick for each subset or each population, as well as some, runners up. So the state always purchases copies of all of those titles in the formats that are available. Beyond that, they've done the Governor Summer Reading Challenge program. They also will make the state award winners. So they have the Nutmeg Awards, which is for children's literature. In addition to including the award winners within the collection, this year they also purchased the nominees so that librarians and community members that were on the awards committee were able to review those titles by using Pallas if they wanted to. They also have chosen to focus on Connecticut history. They've chosen to support a IMLS grant, which was Exploring America, their DEIA nonfiction collection. The idea here really is that if they have a physical collection promoting a specific initiative, they want to make it available virtually as well. Similar to California and some of our other states, they have adopted a statewide barcode. Uh, Connecticut probably has about 90% of its public libraries configured in the app, but that doesn't necessarily mean that patrons know to look for their library. So they have also promoted a statewide shared collection via the Connecticut State Library entrance, Connecticut State Library instance in Palace. And again, this is geared towards those handful of unintegrated libraries, as well as state employees. But it's an opportunity to just another avenue for patrons in the state of Connecticut to access that collection that's made available to them. I believe as our last example for now is our good friends with the Vermont Department of Libraries have two different instances that are, again, those VLC barcodes. One is the Vermont State Library, which is really geared towards their state employees. It's focused on Vermont materials, fiction and nonfiction, as well as professional development titles. But they came to us a couple years ago with a really unique idea. Vermont is interesting in that they host a lot of seasonal residents as well as travelers. So they wanted to see if there was a way of making that collection available to temporary residents. So we created and collaborated on the Book Vermont Library, which also includes that statewide shared collection available to any library that has implemented Palace, as well as the Vermont State Library. And this is a really great opportunity for them to kind of try to engage with people who, are temporary residents coming in for vacations or extended vacations, or are seasonal residents that may or may not frequent their local library while they're in Vermont. Again, focusing on Vermont-related literature, Vermontiana, award winners. But one of the cool things here is that we collaborated on a decal. The idea was that it was a different way of providing outreach. So our friends and partners at Vermont Department of Libraries have been placing these decals out in the wild. They have a QR code on them for patrons. They've put them up in everywhere from, I think, laundromats to campgrounds to ski resorts. And the idea is to kind of make sure that people know that there are resources available to them when they are visiting in Vermont. And again, this is also available to patrons in communities that have not chosen to adopt Palace yet. So even though VT-Lib has provided this resource to every library in the state, we're not at 100% configured yet, but we will continue to provide support for patrons that are interested in accessing those statewide shared resources through the Book Vermont Library. Some other ideas for promoting eRead Illinois and Palace. You can promote library programming, community-led initiatives, local author talks, or local authors that are of interest, local and statewide celebrations. If you have lecture series or speaker events in the library, you can curate lists and lanes to support that, trending and seasonal topics, and so much more. There really are endless opportunities for you to kind of utilize those curation tools to promote eRead to your community. One of the things that we like to mention as part of promotion is that one of the easiest ways to promote Palace or access to collections is by placing our logo on your website. We do have some resources available to you, as well as some, I guess, blanket copy that you can use on your website. We have training videos that you can embed. But this is a really easy way to get patrons to realize that they have access to these resources. And as I mentioned, we do have training videos that you're able to embed on your website. And adding the Palace Project to your library's website is probably the easiest way to encourage discovery and usage by your patrons. We'll share out all of the resources that are available to you. There's a resources page on this slide deck, so you don't need to copy any links down. We'll make sure that they get to you. But we do have these two professionally made videos on utilizing Palace, how to get started for both iOS and Android. They are patron facing, so feel free to embed them on your homepage. We will be getting some getting started guides too. The Rails team, I think, has them in their possession and are coming up with a plan to distribute. But one of the other things that you can do or utilize when talking with patrons is just sharing how easy it is to get started and access the e-read collection on Palace. Usually it's a 4 or 5 step process. This is one of our partner libraries in Corona, California. So they've chosen to create graphics with those steps in both English and Spanish, really basic graphics to go along with the resources that we've provided to them. And transitioning again, ongoing resources and support. So we understand that there's a lot going on right now and that it's a busy time of year and things are transitioning very quickly. But this is just to say that even though your library is live in Palace, that doesn't mean we go away. We continue to offer support to you. So we do have a library resources page with recorded trainings, our wiki page, as well as links to our YouTube. Getting started guides, we will be sending you some, but you also have the ability to print them. They're available in English and Spanish, as well as several other languages where we've had them translated. There are digital assets and printables there. We've recently launched our community Discord, which will also host some of those digital download resources, but it's an opportunity to engage with other libraries about their experience with the Palace Project, what they're doing to promote access to ebooks in their communities. And there's also a quick and easy way to ask kind of ready reference collections of myself and the staff. We offer dedicated technical support as well as regular newsletters. And we have like a traditional general newsletter as in addition to a tips for success, which is more uh, I guess not technical, but it is an opportunity to kind of get a sense of like little tips and tricks for how to optimize using Palace, little notes on community highlights, what other libraries are doing. We offer some professional development links in there as well. It's really kind of more geared towards practitioners instead of just general information on what we've been up to. We do offer staff and patron trainings virtually. Nobody's taken us up on the patron trainings yet, but we're always interested in trying new things. So if you ever want to collaborate on a virtual program, we'd be happy to kind of come in and do some troubleshooting as well as give us some demos on how to use Palace. We do offer the social media templates, print collateral, which will be coming to Rails soon. They are waiting on an order of 100,000 bookmarks, which will be coming your way as soon as they receive them. We offer a virtual summit. This was our first year doing it, but it was a 5 hour mini conference of community members talking about everything from ebook access to marketing and promotion. It was a great opportunity to hear from some of our academic library partners too. It was a really cool experience, and it's something that we're hoping to kind of continue to do in the future. Beyond that, we do offer updates webinars at least twice a year. That's with a large portion of the Palace staff, talking about everything from new content to new development to higher level vision. And really, we're looking to kind of expand these resources as we go. As I said, we do custom curations. Our sales team is able to leverage some collection development support. So, just because you are live in Palace doesn't mean we go away. We're here to support you at any stage of the process, whether it's day one of launch or 2, 3, 4 years down the line. You're more than welcome to reach out to us at any time. As I mentioned, we did launch our community Discord. This is what it looks like. You can see some of the templates that we've already embedded that people can download. It's really an opportunity for you to kind of come together as a community and talk about, challenges as well as goals surrounding eRead and Palace. This is a new community, so we'll be adding more opportunities and more, I guess, sub channels as we kind of learn and grow. Lastly, one of the things I'd be remiss if I didn't mention is that we do take your feedback very seriously. Our operations team has a feature request board that we review quarterly with our developers to make sure that we can kind of leverage the feedback that we're receiving to make sure that we are prioritizing the needs of our community. So we at least try to get updates in here for you quarterly. There are things that have come up through this board that we've been able to implement. So if you have any ideas or feedback or new recommendations, or you just want to upvote things that are already in there, you can go to our Feedbear page, which is linked on our library resources page, and let us know. Lastly, we do have some upcoming trainings in January. Tara and I and our colleague Cav will be working on our marketplace overview. So if you're looking to purchase content for your local collections through the Palace Marketplace, we're offering training on that on Tuesday, January 13th. And then on the 21st, which is Wednesday at 2 p.m. Central, we will be doing a Q&A session, which is really just kind of a drop-in session for everyone to kind of come with questions or feedback. It's one of those kind of informal opportunities to talk with the team. And again, it's an opportunity to ask us questions as you're kind of getting acquainted with the app and hearing things from your patrons. So definitely think of us in the new year as you're starting to look at your calendars. As with all of our trainings, we'll try to record these and make them available after the fact. So if you register and can't attend, that's perfectly okay. We'll make sure you receive a copy of the recording. Okay, just contact information for Tara, myself, and our support email, as well as all of those resources that we mentioned that I'm going to update before sending to you, because those are for our Georgia colleagues. But with that, I'm going to stop sharing my screen and see if we have any questions. Thank you for putting the links in the chat, Tara.
You're welcome.
Are there any questions that we can answer? It doesn't necessarily need to be about marketing and promotion, but as you're kind of getting accustomed to the Palace platform, if you're coming across things, we're happy to answer any questions now. Well, oop. Hi, Amanda. There is a message in the chat about how Android users are unable to download audiobooks. Yes, this is a known issue. We have several support tickets that are open, and our Android developer is actively working on a fix that we're hoping to get out sometime this week. So stay tuned there. It may be specific to academic libraries, as Tara mentioned here. So it's specific to our libraries that are authenticated via SAML. But this is something that we are aware of and we're working on a fix as we speak. So any day now, we should hopefully have some good news for the students that are accessing materials via their college libraries. Ashley, sorry if this has been addressed already. Will there be an option sometime to have a favorite or future reading button that would thank you for all of our hard work? Thank you for thanking us, Ashley. It has been a crazy month. Tara did drop the link for our feedback board. It is probably one of our most requested features, and we have heard you. I think with the fact that we are a small nonprofit team, it sometimes means that we have to prioritize things a little bit differently. So right now we have chosen to prioritize our web catalog and web reader, which should be available sometime in the new year, as well as support for K-12s, including some single sign-on opportunities there and Chromebook support. So definitely upvote the feature request on Feedbear. It requests that you set up for an account. You just have to to give them your name and email. None of that information goes anywhere, but it does give you an opportunity to kind of interact with our team in that way. So yes, it's definitely something that we're mindful of. It's something that we definitely want to get to, but we are definitely going to be getting there at some point. Perhaps not as, ooh, perhaps not as high a priority, but we also have some folks having trouble manually returning items. Tara, do you know if we've been receiving tickets about this and what the
No, so Amanda, I just put in the chat, if you can email support@thepalaceproject.org and let us know some specifics. We need to know about the device. So if it's iOS or Android, the device model, if you're using the most recent version of Palace, I assume so, because everybody's pretty new to the app, but just let us know which version of the app you're on. And then the details about exactly what's happening, if they're seeing an error or if the app is crashing or if something else is happening. And if possible, sending like a screen recording is also very helpful so we can share that with our engineers. And thank you for letting us know.
definitely open up a ticket. I think the follow-up here is that it might be SAML related. We are, I know that it's not necessarily a different way of authenticating than we normally do, but it is something that it's a little bit more technically complicated than our normal public library authentication process. So our colleague and developer, Tim DeLauro, who's been helping on this, and if there is any sort of tweaking that needs to be done or any specific issues that have come up, it's something that we'll definitely investigate further. So please, if you have time, open up a ticket with us, and that'll allow us to kind of track things as we go, and any information you can provide us surrounding what you're seeing or what the user experience is helpful in helping us investigate what the root cause of the issue might be.
Definitely. And I'll say for the SAML, the academic libraries in general, that they're all a little bit different. Our public libraries are kind of more standardized with configs, but we've found with a lot of the academics, they're all individual different setups that are all custom made or custom configured by our engineers on the back end. So yeah, if we need more testing, we will work on that with Tim and Mark, our Android developer. So thanks for your patience on that, but definitely email us, Amanda.
Here's a good question. Can patrons contact Palace directly to support at thepalaceproject.org, or should we send technical problems? I think, in the past, we've had a patron support email in the app to kind of mitigate issues that are related to cards specific and accounts. So if a patron has contacted you directly or is experiencing an issue that you are seeing and can kind of verify that it's a technical support issue and not an account issue, you can have them reach out. Sometimes it's easier this way because we will need to know very specific information about their devices, the version of the operating system they're using in addition to title, publisher, all that fun stuff. So if it's a situation in which you're communicating with a patron and it's easier to go that route, you can have them reach out to our support. We just do try to ensure that it's not an account related issue before we open up a ticket to investigate. And Tara has placed all of the information that we normally request in the chat. I'll read those through for the recording. We usually request the library's name, the type of device you are using, whether it's an iOS device or an Android phone or tablet, and the model version of those, the current operating system on that device, as well as the Palace version on that device. And that could be found on the settings page of the app. The titles that are experiencing an error, as well as the format, whether it's an ebook, an audiobook, or if they know it's a PDF, that's perfectly fine. The distributors, which is also information that's found on the book details page in the app, the publisher, and if possible, we do request a screenshot or a video or screen grab if they are able to document what's happening in the app, as well as a description of the problem. if they're able to, if they could kind of provide us with some steps they took before the error or problem occurred, that's also really helpful information. So as much information as you can provide surrounding the error or issue that they're saving at the forefront allows us to kind of dig right in right away. Sometimes it's a little bit of back and forth to get all the information we need. But as much information as we can possibly get from either the librarian, library staff member, or patron is really helpful when it comes to investigating support issues. Any other questions? Okay, well, I want to thank you for joining us today. If you have any additional questions surrounding marketing, promotion, or whatsoever, feel free to reach out to me. I'm going to drop my email in the chat. My email address is Jillian, Jillian dot Scarson, Scarson at lyrasis.org. If you have any technical problems or issues surrounding your authentication methods, our support email is support@thepalaceproject.org. Again, thank you for joining us. We're so excited to have the Rails libraries on board. And as you continue to kind of explore Palace, don't hesitate to reach out. And some of you, I'm sure we'll see in the new year. Happy holidays to you all, and we hope to see you soon.